from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Monday, June 13th. So the moon is in Sag all day. Again, we are in the full moon window. We are building towards the full moon in Sagittarius early tomorrow morning. We are also in a state here today where Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, information, communication, and how it is that we express ourselves, reclaiming his power in Gemini energy. I'm going to recommend that you listen to the astro forecast that I put out for this. We are essentially retracing the final steps that Mercury took before Mercury went retrograde. This is a big deal. Yes, we're still in post-shadow period, but with Mercury taking its throne, putting the crown back on his head, we are going to start piecing things together. We are going to start seeing a forward motion. We are going to start seeing some aha moments. And the fact that this is happening right before our full moon in Sag, you best believe that we're about to be fully illuminated to a new perspective, new ideas, new path, new direction, new information, new details that are totally going to change the game for us. So there are 9 different aspects here today. 6 of them involve the moon. Before we even get into any moon action, we have the sun making some very important aspects. The first aspect that the sun in Gemini is making is with Pluto, who is retrograde in Capricorn. Pluto is the great transformer. He's doing a number in our inner realms, in our psyche, in our head space, in our heart space, doing a deep dive in our past, in our narratives, in our situations that popped off in a past sense where we gave our power away, where we didn't take control over our lives, where we kind of let other people lead us on a path that didn't work out so well for us. The sun is in Gemini, helping us to choose from 2 very, very extreme perspectives, points of view, ideas, choices, decisions, paths, directions. We're debating things. We just came out of eclipse season where we had a little bit of a universal karmic wrench thrown at us. Now we want to figure out what it is that we need to do with that, how it is that we're going to clean up that mess and embody a new path, a new journey, a new mission, a new purpose for ourselves. This Gemini energy has us debating out the extremes in order to find the middle ground. And the sun bumping into Pluto in this way would suggest that we are having some really powerful revelations. We are seeing things from a different set of eyes. There are some aha moments that are going to be an absolute game changer because it pulls us away from one option, one decision, one choice, one path, one direction, and makes us lean further into the other. This is a good sign. To further that, to back that, we have the sun in Gemini bumping into the true node, our destiny point. Why this is a good situation, and let me tell you, it's probably not going to present as a good situation. It's likely going to be a trigger or an activation outside of us that we don't have control over, likely coming at us with circumstances or situations from personal relationships, disrupting our plans. But why it's a good situation is because right now, we're a little bit confused on the path, the plan, the step, the direction that we need to take in a futuristic realm. So the situation that's popping off is kind of giving us a clear-cut idea on what it is that we need to move away from. Again, I've been speaking very clearly about sometimes gaining clarity and insight doesn't come in a light and fluffy form, how it comes and delivered in a package that it hurts, that's painful, that is so freaking raw in our face, that shows us what it is that we have to create distance from, what it is we need to move away from, what it is we no longer want to tolerate, want to experience. And I feel like this situation is definitely going to illuminate for us where it is that we need to definitely cut the cord with certain people, places, and things in our lives. And of course, that would be a huge indicator on gaining a little bit more clarity on the direction that we need to take, even if the direction that we need to take is based off of the direction that we need to move away from. This is when the moon gets involved. The moon is going to trine Jupiter. This is a super freaking positive aspect for a couple of reasons. First of all, Jupiter rules over Sag. We're in the full moon window. If you haven't downloaded your moon guide, I'm going to recommend you do that. Jupiter rules over this full moon energy. What is Jupiter about? He's about growth. He's about expansion. He's about faith and beliefs. He's about the big picture. He's about wanting more. He magnifies everything. He puts that magnifying glass on the details of the here and now so that we can analyze and scrutinize what it is that we don't want to figure out what it is that we do want. And then he inspires us to be optimistic, instill us with confidence, give us a little bit of clarity in our dream, in our vision, to hype us up, power us up, to be fired up, passionate, desire a new change for ourselves. The moon in Sag trining Jupiter, who is in Aries. This is fire on fire. This is us getting revved up in all the right ways. If you were kind of taking tabs and listening to the earlier forecast for this week, you would know I've been using this car analogy where we have a couple of planets just stepping on the gas, revving the crap right out of the engine, creating lots of smoke because there's a lot of aspects, a lot of planets jumping on the brake, even grabbing the whole parking brake, right? So our tires are spinning. We're creating a lot of noise. We're creating a lot of smoke. We can't see the direction that we're going right now. And the moon in Sag trining Jupiter in Aries is adding to the intensity, the jolt, the want, need, and desire to let go of the brake and to take an action, direction, to just move forward. Problem is, we're not thinking about the consequences. If there's so much smoke around us that we can't even see what sits in front of us, it would be super dangerous for us to release our foot and hand off of the brake and just project ourselves forward because we don't know if we're going to run into someone, run someone over. We don't know what we're going to hit. We don't know what lays before us past the cloud of smoke. So at this particular point, 11:27 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Mercury moving into Gemini again. Please listen to the astro forecast. Up until this point, we're likely going to feel very heavy in our heads. We're not going to be able to think clearly. We're going to be a little bit frustrated. We're not going to be able to be open-minded. We're not going to be able to honestly just think. And we're not going to be able to communicate. So once Mercury actually moves into Gemini, I'm not going to say that everything kind of like resolves itself super quick, but the energy is going to be definitely lighter. It's going to be so light that it could create some anxiety, some nervousness, some, spasms in our central nervous system. We're under the full moon energy as well. So we're just amplified in all that's going on in our headspace, all that's going on in our inner realm, which is a huge urgency, want, need, and desire just to bust free, to break free, to jump into something new that, technically speaking, we're not prepared to do as of yet. We have to be disciplined. We have to be patient. We have to do this right. The moon is going to semi-square, add a little bit of tension to the mix with Pluto. Why? Because Pluto, who is retrograde in Capricorn, Capricorn energy is an earth energy, meaning we have to think long term, but right now Pluto's retrograde, so we're thinking back long term about all the times that we acted without thinking about the consequences, that we took an action, made a move without a clear direction, without a clear focus, and how we created a cluster F and really ruined some of the beautiful opportunities that we could have turned into something beautiful. The reason why this is happening is, again, there's a lot of energy on that gas pedal. There's more energy on the brake. And this Sag energy is a fire energy. It just wants to keep things light and fluffy and have a good time and take an action and, let our hair down and dance. And we might not have an intent or a focus or a direction, but there's still this overwhelming want, need, and desire to just move for the sake of moving. Pluto cannot let that happen. We are not giving away our power in all that we have tried to heal and fix and solve within ourselves. We're not willing to make those same silly mistakes that we made in the past and ruin yet another beautiful opportunity that is being presented to us. The moon is going to bump into Saturn in a positive way. Saturn is retrograde as well. Saturn, the Lord of Karma, is showing us where it is that we have to be disciplined, where we have to be mature enough to slow things down, to think things through, to recognize our roles and responsibilities that we've committed to recognize where it is that a new foundation, a new structure needs to be built in order to get us from where it is that we're at to where it is that we want to be safely. We don't want to walk on a rickety ass bridge that we're going to fall through and enter into the realm of the river and maybe get eaten by an alligator. You know, the moon in Sag isn't thinking about the negative consequences. The moon in Sag is just thinking about how beautiful it's going to be to get to the other side. And the Saturn energy is saying, you know what, if you want to get to the other side safely and be able to enjoy, you know, the party on the other side, let's build a safe and strong bridge for us to actually know that we're going to make it to the other side and not become crocodile and alligator food. The moon is going to trine Mars, trine Chiron. Mars and Chiron are very freaking close to one another. They're going direct in an aspect and a conjunction on Wednesday. This is a lot of fire, a lot of intensity, a lot of aggression. This is exposing to us our, let's call it toxic masculinity. And we all have it. I'm not just talking about men, okay? We all have it. What we know to be true is that the divine masculine is bold, is brave, is a warrior, stands up in the face of adversity, stands up to challenges and obstacles, and does not waver away from that. The toxic masculinity that is being activated at this time is illuminating our egoic wounds. What if I'm not successful? What if I don't end up in the right place? What if I can't bring my dreams to life? Who am I if I fail? Who am I without this relationship, this career, this house, this car? We are very much, because of Chiron's energy, exposing our egoic wounds where it is that we become too attached to the materialistic realm in our physical circumstances. Many of us have been just stripped away of long-term fixtures in our physical realms, whether it be relationships or jobs or money or things. And now we're in this reinvention, this rebranding of who it is that we now are without the physical support of this, I'm going to call it materialistic realm. And Mars and Chiron, in a couple of days when they go into a direct conjunction, will give us the boldness and the bravery, the positive aggression that we need in order to heal ourselves, move past our fear, our doubts, our insecurities. But until we get there, we are being illuminated very brightly to all of the negative aspects that are preventing us from embodying the warrior spirit that we need to have right now in order to cut through the bullshit, the obstacles, the challenges, the fear, the negative narratives, the paralysis, in order for us to actually align with a new mission, a new purpose, a new quest. So the moon trining with both Mars and Chiron at this time is really trying to show us the big picture, remind us of the vision, remind us of the inspiration of why we need to fight so freaking hard to get over ourselves, to get over these wounds, to get over this narrative, over these circumstances. It's a buildup. It's an illumination. It's going to take a little bit of time, but we're basically tearing ourselves down so that we can build ourselves up in a much stronger way. We're going to end the day off with the moon bumping into Uranus, the great awakener, in not the nicest way. Let me tell you, this is likely going to come from a major disruption in our external realms that really throw a wrench into our plans. Not only that, create another level of confusion. Not only that, create another level of awareness on where it is that we need to break free from certain relationships, certain dynamics, certain roles and responsibilities to provide ourselves with a little bit of freedom, a little bit more independence in order for us to provide ourselves with what it is that we're currently emotionally lacking and what it is that we keep looking outside of ourselves in order to fulfill within ourselves. This is emotional chaos because, again, we have to break down before we can break through.